All right, let's talk about something that feels, well, like a total maze these days: modern dating. It's this world of endless swiping, confusing texts, and weird new terms popping up all the time. So today, we're going to try to untangle it. We're going to break down what's really going on, why it feels so confusing, and maybe, just maybe, what we can do about it. Let's jump in. This question came from a Reddit user, but I mean, who hasn't felt this? If you've ever just sat there staring at your phone, totally baffled by a conversation that just poof vanished into thin air, you were so not alone. It's this shared feeling of frustration that's pretty much the background music to finding love today. And that brings us to the central crazy paradox of it all. We have more potential partners at our fingertips than any other generation in human history. Seriously, dating apps have given us this seemingly infinite catalog of people. And yet, so many of us feel more isolated and disconnected than ever. So how can having more choices actually make it harder to find a real, genuine connection? Okay, so to even start to understand this new landscape, we kind of have to learn the language. The old rules are out and a whole new vocabulary is in. And there are two terms that you absolutely have to know: hookups and situationships. First up, the hookup. Now, academic research is pretty clear on this, and the key word, the most important word, is uncommitted. A hookup could mean anything from kissing to more, but its defining feature is that there's no promise, no expectation of a traditional relationship. It's all about that single encounter, not about a future together. And this is an important distinction to make, right? Because you might be thinking, isn't that just friends with benefits? Well, not quite. A hookup is usually a one-time thing, often with a stranger or someone you just met. An FWB, on the other hand, is built on an actual friendship that was there before. It's an ongoing thing, and that brings in a whole other layer of emotions and trust that makes it totally different. And that brings us to the situationship. Ah, yes, that murky, confusing gray area. It feels like more than just a hookup, for sure, but it's definitely not an official relationship. You've got the affection, you talk all the time, maybe there's intimacy, but what's missing are those key ingredients: clarity, commitment, and any real talk about the future. It's the ultimate "so what are we" scenario. So how in the world did we get here? I mean, this whole landscape didn't just appear overnight. Let's take a look back at the key moments and the huge societal shifts that kind of dismantled the old ways of dating and built this maze we're all trying to navigate today. You can really trace this evolution through three game-changing stages. First, back in the 1920s, you have the automobile. For the first time ever, couples had privacy. They could get away from the supervised front porch. Then, in the 60s, the birth control pill arrives and fundamentally changes everything by separating sex from the immediate consequence of pregnancy. And finally, in the 2000s, dating apps hit the scene and turned the search for love into a digital marketplace, driven by efficiency and this huge volume of choice. And this all ties into a really fascinating idea about community. See, in the past, people lived in what you could call micro-communities. Your dating pool was your town, your neighborhood, your social circle. You pretty much knew, or at least knew of, the people you were dating. But today we're in a macro community. We're connected to the entire globe online, but we often feel pretty isolated right where we live. So dating apps become the bridge to meet strangers because our built-in networks for finding partners just aren't as strong as they used to be. Now, navigating this new world of endless choice and vague connections, it isn't just confusing, it can take a real psychological toll. So let's look at the data, at the real mental and emotional price of trying to date in this maze. And to get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number. Research shows that a huge majority, somewhere between 60 and 80% of college students in North America have had a hookup experience. So this isn't some fringe activity anymore. For a lot of young adults, it's become a totally normal part of the social scene. But it's not always a great experience. And while regret is pretty common for everyone, the research shows that the reason for that regret often looks really different for men and women. Women are much more likely to report feeling used afterwards. Men, on the other hand, are more likely to report feeling sorry for using someone. It just shows how different social expectations and pressures are still very much at play. And the consequences can go way deeper than just one night of regret. Studies have linked modern dating culture to all sorts of negative outcomes. You've got increased anxiety and total dating burnout, which makes sense when you're stuck in an ambiguous situationship. You have lower self-esteem, which can be a direct result of the whole swiping game. It feels like a constant judgment of your worth. Each of these things is a piece of the puzzle, and it paints a really clear picture of why so many people just feel completely exhausted by it all. Okay, so it's messy, it can be kind of damaging, but does that mean we're all doomed? No, not at all. This last part is all about finding a way forward. It's about empowering ourselves with new strategies to get through the maze with a little more purpose and a lot less pressure. So, how can we actually change our approach? Let's look at two really powerful ideas. First, there's contra dating. This just means you intentionally go on dates with people who are not your usual type. It forces you to challenge your own biases, and you might just discover that the checklist you had in your head isn't what you really want or need at all. Second, try dating for the plot. I love this one. It means you treat dating less like a high stakes job interview and more like you're just collecting cool life experiences and stories. That mindset immediately lowers the pressure and can actually make dating fun again. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The solution isn't some new app or a better algorithm. It's about a shift in our own perspective. It's about moving away from this paralyzing idea of endless options and moving towards the brave act of actually choosing someone and investing your time and energy in them. So really, the path forward requires us to bring something back that the efficiency of dating apps tried to get rid of: imperfection. It means allowing room for surprise. It means giving people a second chance, looking past a single little ick, and just creating space for the beautiful, messy, and totally unpredictable process of human connection to actually happen. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. In this whole maze of modern dating, what are we really looking for? Is the goal to find some flawless, algorithm-approved, perfect person? Or is it about learning to enjoy the journey itself with all its ups and downs? Something to think about.